house.gov and be like, hey, what's going on here? And then they will see all of this. Oh, how fantastic.
And the prosecutions that followed.
Yep.
There are references to the, quote, mass arrests of patriotic protesters.
Yep.
There's a reference to the greatest election theft in U.S. history.
Yep.
Mike Pence's, quote, act of cowardice and sabotage.
Yeah, kind of.
The website goes on to say the Democrats masterfully reversed reality after January 6th, branding peaceful patriotic protesters as insurrectionists.
Oh, D, I'm getting chills. This is just, tell me more. He's reading from, tell me more.
Framing the event as a violent coup attempt
Yep.
orchestrated by Trump, despite no evidence of armed rebellion or intent to overthrow the government.
You betcha.
My words, to be clear, there were more than a dozen individuals who were charged and convicted for seditious conspiracy.
Yeah, his words. Okay, make sure, let me give you a little bit of my thought on this. See, isn't that, if you're like, hey, Drew, can you give me an example of why people dislike the media? And I would say, hold on a second. I've got reams and reams of paperwork here. Hold on. Oh, here's a page. Every single page that I'm going through and the reams of pages that I'm going through are all examples of why you should despise the media. Here's how it goes. Again, listen to what the reporter, the journalist for MS Now and SNB, whatever they call themselves, listen to this.
Individuals who were charged and convicted for seditious conspiracy.
Wait a minute. Okay, let me back up. Here's what you want to hear.
Orchestrated by Trump, despite no evidence of armed rebellion or intent to overthrow the government. My words, to be clear, there were more than a dozen individuals who were charged and convicted for seditious conspiracy.
Okay, his words. Hey, D, can I ask you a question? You being the keeper of all things linguistic and somebody who's probably the smartest man in the building. Yeah, I said it. And someone who also knows a little bit about journalism, kind of, sort of. Is that what a journalist's supposed to do? Like, are they supposed to chime in and say, hey, can I inject my words into this conversation? If you don't mind if I tell you something that I'm thinking. Like, how does that work? Is that a thing in journalism?
Not usually.
Okay, not usually.
Anchors, yes.
Yeah. I mean, and not even the anchors. Like, who asked the anchors to do that? No, I'm serious. Like, who said, boy, I can't wait to hear what Tony Lapadopoulos thinks. I don't know what the guy's name is. I forget what his name is. But anyway, I digress. So there you go. J6, we're going to get to more of what is being reported on today. That will be coming up in just a bit. But first, let's get to this. He is known as the Jim Cantori of what did we say it is? The Jim Cantori of Florida politics? That's not written. No, that's not. If he's coming to your town, you better watch out. You better not cry and don't pout. Well, you may be pouting when he shows up. It is the CFO of the great state of Florida, Blaise Ngolia, who's joining us right now on Florida's Voice. See, I threw a little Christmas, little holiday, even though we're past it. See, if you were here a couple of weeks ago, it would have been a little more relevant, but I kind of missed.
Well, yeah, you had to go to the Christmas limerick because you forgot the Jim Cantori of wasteful spending. That's what it is.
Okay, the Jim Cantori of wasteful spending, which is so spot on. All right. How was your holiday, by the way? Was everything good? Are you good? Everything okay?
Holiday was great. Spent time with the family. Got to spend some time with the grandbaby. So it was a good couple weeks.
Yeah, excellent. So yesterday, this was big. The announcements, the arrests. Talk a little bit about what took place yesterday and what's been going on here in the state.
Yeah, we did a press conference yesterday highlighting that Operation Tidal Wave has now netted more than 10,000 illegal immigrants in the state of Florida. They were arrested, they were deported. There were probably 10,000 more in addition to that, probably prior to Operation Tidal Wave. And when you start looking at the state of Florida leading and cracking down on this, you really start seeing just how hard we have worked hand in glove with the Trump administration, because the leadership coming from the federal level and the cooperation that we have with the Trump administration wasn't there before. There's no way we could have done any of this stuff under the Biden administration while they were flooding the United States with illegals through the southern border. And all of that does not even count the approximate 1.9 million illegal immigrants who have self-deported, according to DHS. So we're on the right track. We're going to continue working hard and being vigilant on this stuff.
Yeah, and I don't want that to pass by because I think it's so important, and I'm glad you said this. the cooperation is so key in all of this. This is how you were able to do this, the cooperation 287G, and the fact that you had an administration in the past that was not cooperative. And so to have that right now is so important. And also to show how seriously you all have been taking on immigration enforcement, that it is something that would be nice if other states would look to see what we are doing as a model to make sure that we're keeping the citizens safe.
We are, and our liaisons from DHS and ICE have said that we have become the gold standard for illegal immigration enforcement. But, you know, a lot of this has to do with deterrence, right? The fact that we have full cooperation 287G in the state is a deterrent. The fact that we are filing legislation and passing laws, cracking down and stopping with the incentives is a deterrent. But the biggest deterrent here, I got to hand it to him, is President Donald Trump. He is the biggest deterrent. You know that these other countries and illegals coming over the southern border realized that when Donald Trump was put back into office, that the days of them flooding the southern border were over. So I got to hand it to the president. Just the sheer fact that he is in office has stopped the flow coming over the southern border himself, no more than just the power and the will of that man.
Yeah, absolutely. Florida's CFO is Blazing Golia, joining us right now on Florida's Voice. You know what? One of the other things about apprehensions like this, the more than 10,000 arrests and deportations under Operation Tidal Wave, then asks the question, you know, when people hear about this and they hear about the arrest and deportation, you know, they think someone who's here illegally, that is one thing. But what about the illegals who are here who are maybe committing fraud, whether it's insurance or otherwise? I mean, that's another aspect to this story, is it not?
It is, and I'm so glad that you asked that question, because the agency that I run, Department of Financial Services, we actually have a law enforcement division. They're called CID, Criminal Investigations Division, and their job is a lot of white-collar crimes, you know, insurance fraud, workers' comp fraud. And so far, since I've been in office, we have about 4 arrests of illegal immigrants, and the crimes are ranging from workers' comp fraud to insurance fraud to even crimes against kids. So we are all in the CFO's office and DFS, helping the Trump administration, the state of Florida, and Governor Ron DeSantis, making sure that we are ridding the state of the criminal element. So we are doing our part. I know a lot of agencies are doing our part, but the fact of the matter is that the problem has become so enormous that you could not do any of this without full cooperation of the states. And Florida is leading on this, just like they lead on so many other issues nationwide.
So we're in 2026 right now. And before we go, last thing I might ask is there like a teaser on where you may end up next for those listening across the state? Like, are you going to be traveling around? Any other places you're going to be visiting that we might want to give some people a heads up?
We are, but one of the things that we are starting to focus on are school board budgets, right? So we know property taxes are made up of general government and then school boards. And, you know, some of the proposals going through the legislature when it comes to property tax reform are sort of holding them harmless. But I think we are going to show that some of these school boards are some of the most wasteful and egregious spenders. We are in a process of coming up with the formula to figure out just how excessive and wasteful school board budgets have been in relation to the population that they serve, which are the students. So stay tuned. We should be rolling that out in the next 60 days and make some examples on some school boards that are absolutely 100% wasting your tax dollars.
I'm just saying, before we go, oh my, I'm ready. I'm ready for this, because it's going to be big. And you're going to ask, because, you know, Blaze, everybody knows this, that the more you spend per student, the more brilliant they will become. I mean, if we spent $500,000 per student in the state of Florida, we would have Einsteins running around. Said nobody ever. I'm just putting that out there. So that might be a portion of some of the things that we would see.
No, and it absolutely will be. There is no data, no correlation to the amount of money being spent on education, going to the schools, the public schools, and how much extra a student is learning. There's just no correlation. What is a correlation is having great teachers, right?
Yep.
And the teachers, I believe, are deserve raises, right? They should be some of the best paid in government. Now, the problem is that when you go to raise teacher pay, then it looks like your budget's going to have to go up also. And we are going to show that you can actually cut some of these school board budgets and give teacher raises and have the best of both of all worlds when it comes to this stuff.
Love it. All right. Well, it's great to see you. All the best. God bless. Look forward to the next time we can visit. Okay.
God bless. Take care.
All right. We'll see you. That is CFO Blaise Ingoglia, the Chief Financial Officer here in the state of Florida. Joining us on Florida's Voice. Always appreciate a visit. 866-588-8303. I know people get upset. I see some of the messages on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X. I see them. People get upset when we talk, when I say something like that, like the more money you spend per student, it's because it's not true. There is no evidence to show that's the case. Otherwise, that's what it would look like across the state of Florida and every place across the country, where you're looking at the districts that are spending the most per pupil, per student, then you would have that correlate into the best grades. And it doesn't work that way. So it is what it is. All right. So don't get upset with me. Well, you can get upset with me. That's fine. 866-588-8303. All right. Some of the other news that is out there here at Florida's Voice. All right. Do I want to play this one? Yeah, let's do this. I heard that a little rumor that's floating out there, especially today, is that conveniently Amy Klobuchar is now being discussed as the possible replacement for the governor, Tim Walz, there in Minnesota, because Timmy's like...
and I'm a knucklehead at times.
And not just that, but hey, there's a lot of fraud going on in Minnesota. You going to clean any of that up? Or Nah, I know it's been talked about for years and years and years, and investigations in the state of Minnesota for years and years and years, but we wouldn't want to get ahead of ourselves. So you have Amy Klobuchar now, who we are told is someone who's being discussed about the replacement, running for governor there. And wow, Minnesota politics, unbelievable. Now, if people are like, hey, wait a second, Amy Klobuchar, didn't she run for president of the United States? Yeah, she did. And some people were like, wait, are you talking about the Amy Klobuchar who at different town halls and different events kept saying the same thing about Trump over and over again when she was doing, I guess, this announcement to run for president and some rallies, and she was out in the snow. And in one particular case, she had snow all around her. It was like a blizzard, and she's out in the middle of the blizzard and there's snow in her hair. And I think the president may have made a comment about that. And I guess... anytime the president directs political fire at you and says something, then I think that Democrats are like, oh, did the president use my name by name? Okay, so now I have a license to say something about them. Clever. Multiple times. In different places.
Sometimes, if you haven't noticed, you use a little humor. Like when he called me Snow Woman at my announcement in the middle of that thing, I wrote back on Twitter, I'd like to see how your hair would fare in a blizzard.
But that's not it. So there's Amy Klobuchar at a town hall. But that wasn't the end of it.
I wrote back, hey, Donald Trump. So I wrote back, hey, Donald Trump. So I wrote back. I tweeted back. The science is on my side. And I'd like to see how your hair would fare. And I'd like to see how your hair would fare in a blizzard. I'd like to see how your hair fares in a blizzard.
Whoa, okay. Maybe she repeated that story many times, thinking that it was going to be so good and so clever. And anything else? You know, when it comes to Democrats and what they're going to do, and if they're going to run for president of the United States, let's just say, or maybe they're even going to run a state. You know, in the state at that level, and with someone like Amy Klobuchar, it's easy to throw out what you would do in the state. It's going to be more of the same because, Marxist, communist, socialist, progressive, Democrat, all the same thing. And it doesn't make a difference. It's like, next one. Hey, do any of you think differently? No, you're all in. Okay, got it. But on a national stage, where's the, I was just going to say, where's the beef? Hey, D, I was just going to say, where's the beef? And do you remember Where's the Beef, the Wendy's commercial?
Where's the beef?
You see, it doesn't make a difference what age you're at. For some reason, they all know the Wendy's commercial and Where's the Beef. That's really what it's about. Where's the beef? Like, what are you going to do? Can you define what it is that you want to do to make this country better, to make this country great? Oh, you can't say that because we don't want America to be great, because then that would suggest that others are not. And we don't want to be that way. Okay. So a little bit of Amy Klobuchar, who is now being discussed as the possible replacement there to Governor Tim Walton. There's some craziness going on politically. I'll tell you what, 2026 has come in like it's not. I'm not saying coming in like a lion. It's more like coming in like crazy. Right, Elon?
Things are getting weird, and they're getting weird fast.
Yeah, they're getting weird fast. All right. Anytime you want to watch it, FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. Hey, how's your air conditioning doing these days? I hope everything is running just fine. If it's not, and you're ready for 2026 to be the year of, I don't know, my air conditioning running properly. Strata Air Conditioning and Heating, they feel like homeowners, look, you should be able to select from a full range of air conditioning manufacturers. Let's just say if you really do need one, it's time to get it replaced. Well, Strata sells and services every major manufacturer, including Carrier, Goodman, Daikin, Trane, Mitsubishi, and Lennox, and they are committed to 5-star customer service. So if you want to check out what they have to offer right here in the state of Florida, across the state of Florida, STRADAAC.com. That's StrataAC.com. You can schedule an appointment, get a text confirmation, even track your text progress to your home. You ought to call Strata. License number CACO 43953. All right, top of the news coming up from the Florida's Voice newsroom. I don't know who's got it today. Is it AP? I think it is. Well, we'll find it.
Anita.
It is Anita Padilla in the Florida's Voice newsroom. Coming up, my name is Drew Steele. This is Florida's Voice.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I have to tell you, when my wife and I talked about getting new kitchen countertops for our house, we know who to call. Rock Solid Countertops and More, 2240 J&C Boulevard in Naples. And they have been absolutely amazing. Hugo and the team are the best. The workmanship has been absolutely incredible. The install was so easy. The process was perfect. Taking everything out, bringing the new stuff in. The quartz countertop is unbelievably beautiful, and my wife is super happy, I'll tell you. You know they have the best quality and selection of marble, quartz, granite, and a one-stop shop for all of your kitchen, outdoor, and bathroom needs. I've known it for years. I've lived in Southwest Florida 40 years. There was really only one place I was going to go. It's Rock Solid Countertops and More. I would suggest you give them a call, 596-7676. They're at 2240 J&C Boulevard in Naples. Find out what they can do for you. Countertops, cabinets, plantation shutters, they do it all. Rock Solid Countertops and More.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true, people are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so Yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 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 855-SHARE-40.
Since the dawn of time, man and wildlife have shared a connection, and hunting traditions passed down from generation to generation have connected man to the natural world, from bow and arrow to hook and bullet. As man evolved, our link to those traditions remain with them forever. Yet today, our basic instinct to provide and as part of the hunt to conserve and appreciate the natural world has fallen under attack for the first time in human history. The misguided politicians and radical activists pushing an agenda to end hunting as we know it, or leading a war against our heritage and their misguided policies and protests. They demonize hunters and belittle our way of life, the results of hunters leaving the sport in droves, while our wildlife and ecosystems suffer the consequences as conservation funding dries up. Named after the father of the North American model for wildlife conservation, the International Order of T. Roosevelt is fighting in the arena to protect and expand the rights of hunters everywhere. We will fight back against these forces to make sure that every American has a right to hunt, enshrined in their state constitutions. We will educate the next generation in our traditions and seek to expand accessibility so that everyone can enjoy our pastimes. And we will continue to hold true to our namesake's efforts to protect, preserve, and ensure open access to our nation's wild lands. Teddy Roosevelt's vision for American conservation defines our modern hunting and conservation system, a system upheld by the idea that conservation efforts are crucial to our hunting way of life, and that hunters are crucial to successful conservation.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? It's time to shift gears and seize the fresh opportunities this new pro-business environment has to offer. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and the team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you, helping you go on the offense with advanced tax strategies, thoughtful risk management, and forward-thinking financial planning. Imagine enjoying the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve, all while staying one step ahead, and in a changing world, you've got to do it. Alfie and his team design personalized strategies to strengthen your financial foundation so you can focus on living life on your terms. Ready to find out more? Text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, you can call or text 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and see how a proactive approach can help you thrive no matter what the market does next. Don't wait. Call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470 right now.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Anytime you want to watch at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, and Instagram, and anytime you want to check out the program After Hours, Florida's Voice with Drew Steele, the podcast. Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get it, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's find out what's going on in the Florida's Voice newsroom.
Top of the news, Florida's headlines
Now. All right, and I believe we've got AP, Anita Padilla, is in the Florida's Voice newsroom today. She's got the latest for us. What's up?
Hey there, Drew. Topping the news right now. President Donald Trump delivering a fiery speech to House Republicans at their annual retreat, using the moment to defend his record and push his agenda. Speaking on the 5th anniversary of January 6th, Trump accused Democrats and the media of distorting what took place that day, saying key details were left out. He touted what he called a booming economy, record stock markets, and trillions in new investments, crediting tariffs and tax policies. He also called for voter ID laws, new tax cuts, and changes to health care, all while praising the U.S. military power and blasting foreign adversaries. This speech comes as Republicans are trying to advance his agenda with a narrow House majority. Well, Governor Ron DeSantis says Florida is seriously considering criminal charges against Venezuelan strongman Nicolas Maduro. DeSantis says the state is reviewing whether the dictator can be prosecuted for what he called a hostile act, intentionally sending criminals and gang members into the United States, especially here in Florida. Now, this move would run parallel to federal narco-terrorism and drug trafficking charges. Maduro already facing those in New York after his capture by U.S. forces. DeSantis specifically pointed to the Tren de Aragua gang, saying that Floridians have been victimized by members who never should have been here in the Sunshine State. And lawmakers in Tallahassee are gearing up for the start of next week's legislative session, and they're filing their final bills. Among them is this one. It would require both public and private K-12 schools to adopt sexual violence policies and clearly notify parents and students and staff about available support. House Republican Juan Porras filed that bill. All right, that's it for now, but I'm going to come back in our next hour to tell you about Governor DeSantis, who is taking aim at congressional stock trading. I'll tell you why he is calling it insider trading and the new transparency move that he says would put lawmakers on notice. We'll tell you about that at 4:35. I'm Anita Padilla, the news director here for Florida's Voice. Drew, back over to you.
All right, AP in the Florida's Voice newsroom. We appreciate you there. And anytime you want to check out the stories they are working on right over there behind the glass, it is flvoicenews.com, Florida's Voice. That is the website. I don't know if anybody has noticed or not, but it is 2026. Sorry, a weird segue. And you know, there are people who have, I don't know, New Year's resolutions. Dee, you had a New Year's resolution? Is there something that you're going to do differently in 2026? Have you made up any decisions or any kind of resolutions? Anything like that?
Definitely to get to the gym more often than I have been.
All right.
Eating healthy as I continue to eat healthy, and just overall a healthier 26 and 25.
That's probably like the number one thing. When it comes to individuals in the country and what they're going to do for about 3 months and then quit. I mean, what they're going to do for the rest of their lives, starting in this new year, 2026. Then you have others. You have, for example, sheriffs who may be starting things anew. Maybe 26 a brand new year when it comes to safety and security of the people in their jurisdiction. Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey is joining us right now on Florida's Voice from an undisclosed location because he's always out and about. It's like, no matter, I love it. It's the best thing ever.
Hey, Drew, how you doing, buddy?
I'm fantastic.
Hey, before we jump in, I just got to tell you, my New Year's resolution is to not lose any weight. Every year before, I've always said I'm going to lose weight. Never did, so I'm using reverse psychology this time around.
That might be a good thing. You know, there have been people that have talked about how, like, when it comes to how TDS works, you know, like Trump derangement syndrome, if Trump were to say something that was really negative and bad and horrible, you know, the left in the country would be like, okay, we'll do the exact opposite, which would be where we would be anyway. You know, like it's that kind of thinking. But that's a good way of looking at it. Like, all right, we're going to just forget about the weight thing. But seriously, there are some things that are happening in Brevard. I know when it comes to keeping people safe and secure on the roads, you have decided to do something there where I guess I could say it this way. You're not messing around. You're just getting right to the point. Talk a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, so our 72-mile stretch of Interstate 95 has been labeled as one of the most deadly stretches of I-95 in the country. And, you know, hundreds of deaths over the years. During the this past Christmas and holiday season, we had 5 deaths here in Brevard County on Interstate 95. So we're partnering with the Florida Highway Patrol. Colonel Gary Howes and his team are out working it with us. But we have a new initiative. This is not going to be an operation because it's not going to end. This is the way it's going to be from here on in Brevard County. And that is the initiative is called "This is the Only Warning You're Getting." And that warning was issued yesterday in a press conference. And starting this morning, we've already written over 100 tickets on Interstate 95 today. We're still out here. I'm out on the side of the road with them. We just clocked 3 in a row, one at 96, one at 92, and one at 94.
What?
Move over, driving down the road today, a car passes me, not only speeding, but playing on their cell phone. So we are writing citations, no warnings, no excuses. I don't want to hear you whining and crying because I'll tell you right now, the families that have been impacted by the deaths out here, they're the ones that deserve the right to be crying right now because they lost somebody.
Absolutely.
So we are doing this. This is going to be a continuing initiative that there's no more warnings on Interstate 95 in Brevard County. People are going to start to understand when you drive into Brevard County, you better drive like you just drove into Georgia because you know how it is in Georgia, what happens there.
Wow. Well, I have to be honest, Sheriff. I love the idea, especially because I think sometimes, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but in some cases, maybe that's part of why, if somebody thinks there's going to be a warning, or if somebody thinks I'll be able to do this because fill in the blank, they shouldn't have that kind of thought, especially when, as you described, some of what took place over the Christmas season, and it's tragic. And sometimes you have to do it. You just cannot mess around. People need to understand where we are right now, and what needs to be done.
You're exactly right, Drew. And what's happened is we've done, public awareness campaigns. We've issued warnings. We've tried everything to be reasonable in our approach to this. But the people are driving irresponsibly out here. And it's not just excessive speed. It's aggressive driving, improper lane changes, getting in the left lane and impeding the flow of traffic. All of those are check marks in the box of you're getting a citation if you do one of them in Brevard County. And so, we hate to be that. I know the cost of citations and how it impacts people's insurance and driver's license stuff. But at the end of the day, there's nothing more important than saving the lives of our citizens.
Yeah, no, I understand. And I think the public does as well, especially when what just took place, what you just described. I mean, people driving 3 in a row in the 90s. I mean, that's unbelievable. As you're sitting there.
Yeah, and it is the community has embraced it. I mean, all day long we've been out stopping cars and people have been driving by, giving us thumbs up and blowing the horns, yelling out the windows, thanking us and stuff. And so people, enough is enough, and that's where we're at.
Yeah. Hey, one other thing before we go, if you don't mind, is how the governor and the attorney general and others made that announcement about the arrests. The Operation Tidal Wave. And one of the things that I know we've talked about before, and I just want to emphasize this before we go, when it comes to the 287G program and the cooperation with the Trump administration, how you can do incredible things when you have great partnership.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, as part of our initiative today, we took 2 into custody on detainers for ICE. Stopped them in a traffic stop and ended up they were here illegally. So
wow.
You're right. There's partnerships. I'll tell you, and I don't know if I've ever shared this quote with you, but it's something that we thrive by here in Brevard County. I heard the mayor of Cocoa one time said there's all sorts of ships in the ocean. There's battleships, cruise ships, there's cargo ships. In Brevard County, we even have spaceships. But nothing calms rough seas like friendships, partnerships, and relationships.
Nice.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Sheriff, you're busy because you're on the road as usual. You're always busy, but I'm so happy you had a few minutes to join us here at Florida's Voice. It's always great to see you.
Oh, yep. Always enjoy being with you, man. Take care.
We'll see you soon. All the best. God bless. That is Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey joining us on Florida's Voice. We always appreciate a few minutes. All right, 866-588-8303. Oh, man, there's so many stories. There's so many things that are going on right now. We're going to get to some of the Tim Walz audio about why he dropped out of the 26th race. And he started rambling on about January 6th. Like, what? What are you doing? Yeah, we'll get to that audio coming up in just a second. You know, but I do want to mention that sometimes we always have to reflect and remember what is going on with the party of the left. You know, the socialist, Marxist, communist, Democrats, Democrats, Socialists of America, all the same thing. You know, well, I mean, the Democrats, Socialists of America, let's not forget that the ones that are taking over in New York City would like to take over across the country. And as far as the Democrats, Socialists of America, they're not your Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama Democrat Party. Oh, no. They're even further away from, they're far away. They are way to the left. And they want to come to a city near you, whether that's in the state of Florida or anywhere else. But sometimes we also have to be reminded of, you know, you hate to say Democrats are dumb because we don't call people dumb. We call their ideology and their politics dumb. Right, D? That's what we do. We don't call people dumb. That's a very bad thing to do. But sometimes you got those dumb Dems. You know, it's a dumb. All right, we got to do it. Dumb Dems. Here's one right now. Bakari Sellers, who was on CNN last night, who was very upset about the president of the United States and talking about Venezuela and what has gone on with the removal of Maduro and obviously, you know, the hope and the prayer that soon the people of Venezuela will have an opportunity to have a democratically held election where if they get 80% of the vote, unlike last time, you know, they'll actually win and be in power. So there are a lot of positive things that we are hopeful and prayerful that we will see in Venezuela. But at the same time, Donald Trump is president of the United States. And when that happens, you know, you got the Democrats who are going to take whatever side anti-Trump. Doesn't make a difference. Even if the president all of a sudden was like, hey, I think I cured cancer. It would be like, you know, they would go after. It would be TDS on steroids ×3 because how dare you, and even if he proved it. All right, so here's Bakari Sellers as they're talking about Venezuela, and he says...
About oil and dollars, and I'm tired of the president of the United States. He chooses Caracas over rural health hospitals. Right? He chooses Venezuelans over soybean farmers.
So
he chooses everybody else over Americans.
Did you oppose the Biden administration putting a bounty on Maduro's head as well?
Yeah, so there's one of the, I forget who it was that was saying, what about when Biden put a bounty on Maduro's head? Were you okay with that? Was that all right?
Maduro's a horrible person. He needs to be shackled.
But what is it? Trump just acted on it. Exactly.
Yeah, Maduro's a horrible person. He needs to be shackled. But that's what we just did. That just happened. Like, literally, it just happened. So what are you talking about?
You approve of Biden putting the bounty on his head, but not of Trump actually going out and arresting him.
Yeah, we didn't mean it. I mean, he just wanted to seem like the tough guy, right? I mean...
Lion, dog, face, pony, shoulder.
No. I mean, well, that was kind of sort of that tough guy moment as well. But yeah, is that what it is? So you want to seem like you're the tough guy, we'll put a bounty on your head. And son of a gun, they got rid of the prosecutor. You know, that kind of thing. Well, that actually did happen, and that was a whole other story, and it felt like there's a lot of corruption with the Biden family going into Ukraine. But I digress. The point is TDS, Trump, when there's a bounty on the head of Maduro, it's like, well, we didn't actually think you were going to go do something about it. No, that's crazy talk. Yeah, it's really not.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said,
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, if you're looking to take advantage of today's pro-business environment and strengthen your financial future, certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group have got you covered. They specialize in advanced tax strategies, risk management, and retirement planning, all aimed at helping high net worth investors like you thrive. Now, Alfie wants to share those insights with you with his book, Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway. It's packed with practical tips and forward-thinking strategies to help you make the most out of your hard-earned wealth. Ready to get your free copy? Text BOOK to 239-747-7470. That's 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Learn how to capitalize on that pro-business opportunities that are out there right now and secure the confident retirement you deserve. Once again, text BOOK to 239-747-7470 right now, and let Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group help guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
One of my students just happened to ask me, well, how long would a Twinkie last? And I said, well, let's do an experiment. So I gave the student a couple of dollars, asked the student to go down to Merrill & Hinckley's and pick up a package of Twinkies. I basically unripped the package, ate one of the Twinkies, and then put the other package up on the chalkboard. I basically say the Twinkie has become much like me. It's older, it's grayer, and it's more flaky, but it's become more brittle, so you can no longer take it, you wouldn't want to whack it on a table because you'd probably shatter the Twinkie.
D, I did that for you, D, on the other side of the glass. That was all for you, my friend. Just in case you were wondering.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. This is your gift. Here you go. Is everybody ready? Buckle up. The world's oldest Twinkie turned 50. A chemistry teacher in Maine was like, hey, I don't know how long it would last. Like, somebody said, hey, what's the half-life of a Twinkie? I don't know. Let's find out. So in 1976, the dude opens one up, eats one, and then takes the other one and has it sitting in a case in his classroom at the school. It's been there for decades. It is now 50 years old, and that's the retired science teacher who was talking about the Twinkie. And so if you're like, is this a good I don't know. If a snack food has a half-life of like 100 years or something like that, Like if 2 generations go by and you're like, hey, can I snack on that? Like if you could still do that, I got questions. I'm just saying. So I did that for you, D, because I know you're not the junk food guy. You're the anti-junk food guy. Aren't you the anti-junk food guy? You don't eat Twinkies, do you? Wait a second. Did I get that wrong? No, I don't know where. Wait a minute. What happened to your microphone? I got to know. Everybody needs to know this. No, you dropped out, D. You got to log back on again. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, so I saw that. Hold on a second. Let's let D know. There you are, D. All right. So aren't you anti-junk food guy? You're a health food guy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the kind of food you should not be eating in 26.
Yeah. And so maybe that's maybe in 2026 you should eat something that if it were sitting out for more than 3 days you'd have to throw away. How's that? Is 3 days is that good, or is it just do the smell
3
test?
days past the expiration date?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Any kind of food that if you're
I don't eat anything past the expiration date.
We've already been through that. All right. So that's all. An old Twinkie. Moving on. I know you can't get those 3 minutes of your time back. I'm sorry. All right, what else we have coming up today on Florida's Voice? Well, do we want to play a little bit of the Timmy Walsh audio? It's a little long, but I guess we can play a little snippet because Tim Walsh was being asked about why he finally decided that he was not going to run for governor once again. And he said he was going to do it yesterday, but he did it today.
Did you make the decision to end your campaign by yourself, or did you receive pressure from Democratic allies?
This is a decision that I make and make with my family. And certainly, I think, as I said, it's the right decision. I'll note, I think it's appropriate we're here today. The war that's being waged against Minnesota, you're seeing it. We have a ridiculous surge of apparently 2,000 people not coordinating with us that are for a show of the cameras.
There's a war on Minnesota and people are showing up just for the cameras? Is it what?
I'm going to note to all of you, today is January 6th.
No, that's it. I'm out. I'm done. That's it. Bye, Timmy. We're done. Okay, so upon being asked, did you make this decision? Did people make this decision for you about dropping out of the 26th race for a governor? And he's like, today's January 6th. No debate what the president did. And, oh, yeah, there's a war on Minnesota. No, that's not. There's no war in Minnesota. Language. No, it's not. We just want to know, is there an issue with fraud? Because we're seeing and hearing a lot about it. And you seem to be around during all of this stuff. Yeah, we got questions.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele. Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Congratulations on your show.
Congratulations on your new show. Big deal, huh?
That's why shows like yours are so important.
We have an independent county elected sheriff that's the head of law enforcement in Jacksonville/Duval County. And I know how to work toward making this city safe.
We can't be shy about speaking on things such as faith and politics. We have to remember, in a free society, the public square belongs to all of us.
I'm not interested in North Florida looking like Orlando or Miami. I love where we live, but I think that good jobs means that people that live in this district can stay in this district.
Fishing and hunting is funding a large part of your conservation projects in Florida, and we want to make sure that those are forever preserved.
And the problem with this industry at this point is that they actually target our youth. You can see it in their marketing strategies where it's bright colors, fun names.
And that's going to be endlessly litigated.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? Now might be the perfect time to go on offense and seize the opportunities presented by the new pro-business environment ushered in by President Trump and his administration. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you. They create strategies designed to help manage taxes, control risks, and boost your financial confidence. It's a forward-thinking approach that can strengthen your foundation so you can enjoy the lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve. If you're ready to see how Alfie's team can help elevate your plan, call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and discover proactive strategies to help you thrive in an ever-changing world. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Let Alfie Townsend and the Advantage Retirement Group team guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
I've been dipping snuff for well over 30 years. You know, I could wake up in the morning and have a weird lump in my gums. Guess it's like playing Russian roulette, really. I would love grandchildren. And if by quitting it extends my life some, I would gladly lay it down.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
Today, push harder, push forward, push vigorously.
There are things that I am hiding from people that I'm trying to inspire.
You can do whatever you set your mind to.
I feel like a hypocrite a lot of the times.
Don't give up on yourself ever.
Smoking, I hide it because I'm ashamed of it. I want to get out of the shadow. I want to show people there is light away from the darkness. I am going to quit.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know I love the Floor Meisters in Naples. Locally family-owned business, 3 generations of Meisters. Listen, what are you looking for? Carpet, tile, hardwood, Core-Tech? Maybe that's what you're looking for. And why don't we talk to TJ Meister right now of the Floor Meisters and find out what's going on with Core-Tech. What's up, TJ?
Well, we're just keeping up with the demand for Core-Tech. Just had to order a truck and bring it in from the West Coast of the United States to keep up with all the needs and wants of the people of Southwest Florida. Somebody doesn't have it, give me a call. I probably do.
I tell you, I love my Core-Tech floor. People love it. What is it about it that makes it so awesome?
Well, it's waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. So if you got a pool, no problem. If you got a dog, no problem. If you got a husband that spills, no problem.
Floor Meisters, that's who I trust, and you should as well. 6281 Naples Boulevard in Naples. 239-596-4964 for the Floor Meisters.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us a voice.
For being out there helping keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for
Your support for veterans in the military.
educating us,
Standing up for conservatism.
giving us the truth.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Well, hey, everybody. So glad you're joining us today on Florida's Voice. My name is Drew Steele. Big D over there on the other side of the glass. Nina's there in the breaking newsroom. And you watching at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, and Instagram. And anytime you want to check out the program after hours, Florida's Voice with Drew Steele, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get that, receive that. Go get it. All right. I think it's interesting that you have now people on certain networks like CNN.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah, Holy Toledo guy, Harry Enton, who, when reporting on the U.S. military and the ousting of one Nicolas Maduro, you have to start to say, all right, well, what do the American people think? What are they saying? Did CNN actually have to, tell the truth and the facts about the support that the American people have? Did they actually do some actual reporting and journalism here?
Okay, U.S. military ousting Maduro. Pre-ousting, what you saw was the clear plurality of Americans opposed at 47%, just 21% support. Come over to this side of the screen. After the ousting, look at that. The support through the roof. Now we're talking about 37%, well within the margin of error right here of the opposition, 38%. It turns out Americans like what they deem to be successful foreign policy operations. And in this case, they view the ousting of Maduro, at least up to this point, as a successful one, and therefore the support way up.
Huh. Well, would you look at that? Hey, everybody. CNN actually doing some reporting. How fun is that? Didn't think that was going to happen, but I mean, if the support is there, you're going to have to admit it that maybe there is support because they knew all along what was going on in Venezuela. They're like, okay, it is done, and we're feeling pretty good about this. I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit more to talk about with regard to this. Let's speak to Jaime Flores, who's joining us right now on Florida's Voice, the RNC Hispanic Communications Director, and we're so happy to have a few minutes with him. It's Drew Steele. How are you, sir?
Hi, very well, Drew. It's a pleasure to be with you and your listeners.
Well, I appreciate you being here. Yeah, it was kind of funny to hear CNN. It's almost as if the American people knew, Jaime, right? They knew all along that this was a good thing, that somebody that has been there in Venezuela was bad things going on there. Talk a little bit about, as you were talking with friends and family and people that you know about Maduro's arrest.
Well, we're very happy with that. The world is a better place now that he is, facing the justice in the court in New York. We know that things are not going to change overnight in Venezuela. We knew that from the beginning, but we're very happy that President Trump took the decision to get rid of a person that was a big complication, not only for Venezuela. He and Chavez were able to convert the richest country in Latin America into the poorest. Venezuela used to be a very, very powerful source of income. And now people, 1 out of every 5 Venezuelans had to leave their country to survive.
Yeah.
In the United States and other countries, there are over 3 million Venezuelans and the country across the border in Colombia that need to go there to survive. So things are beginning to change in Venezuela at a very fast pace, and we expect that the transition is going to be something very quick and very successful.
Yeah, I think people sometimes forget that if you look at, for example, two countries like Venezuela and Poland, both countries having the choice as to whether or not to reject socialism, and Poland did, and all of a sudden their economy skyrockets. It's a completely different place. It's very successful. Venezuela, that was always successful, that people always talked about as a very successful nation. And the minute that Chavez at the time came in, and then Maduro following it, you see exactly what took place. I mean, when it's this tangible, you know, when it's something that you can see, when the people who have left, I mean, how many millions of people escaped and came to this country and can tell the story, as many others have left communism, right? Socialism, that continue to tell the stories. And I think one other thing, if you don't mind, if I say this, and you can comment too, is I think it's also important for us to continue to talk about and to recognize those that have left communism and socialism and were affected by it, that we talk to them. They're here on our streets. We can have conversations with people who actually know what it's like to live in these conditions. And we have to communicate with them more here locally in our communities, and be able to find out more about what it's like, so that we have that understanding, you know?
Yes. Andrew, look at this. More than 7 million people crossed the border illegally to get into the United States. How many people did cross the border to get into Venezuela or North Korea or Cuba or Vietnam or any of those countries? Why is it that people come to countries that are successful, that respect human rights, that respect free markets, that respect, you know, the will of the people, that have elections and they can choose whatever the leaders they want them to be? And no one goes to those countries. Everybody wants to come to America because of that, because something like what CNN is saying is happening here. You have the opportunity to think whatever you want. You have the opportunity in this country to agree with whatever you want to agree with. And that's very important. That doesn't happen in the Venezuela today, the Venezuela that Chavez created and that Maduro was able to steer, if you can use that word, for so many years.
Yeah. And it's so important, before we go, that we recognize what this president is doing, and also the peace through strength initiatives, the objectives that the president has. Can you speak to that a little bit?
It is very important. We need to use that strength to convince people that we don't need to use that strength. It's not that we're going to go out and attack everybody and we're going to create wars all over the world. We don't need that. What's happening now in Venezuela, after we did what we need to do, President Trump ordered what he wanted to happen, that was getting rid of Nicolas Maduro and bringing him to a court in this country because he's a narco-terrorist. But now we have someone in Venezuela that is not exactly the right person, is not exactly the person we wanted to be, but is the only one that really at this time can handle the things that Maduro left. And now that person knows that if things don't go the right that Washington wants, she's going to have to face the same things that Maduro faced. So that is very important in order to create the conditions that we're going to have in the next future, the possibility of having a Venezuela that's going to be completely democratic, and they're going to be able to choose whatever their leaders they want them to be.
Yeah, and before we go, I don't want people to miss that. I think it's important because I spoke with Rick De La Torre yesterday, who was retired CIA and someone who knows very well about what has been taking place in Venezuela. And, you know, so many times people look at peace through strength or operations like what the president has done and said, well, the experts say, why didn't you do it this way? You know, why didn't you remove every single person? Why didn't you take 5, 6, 7 people out of power? And I think to his point and what he was describing is that would have led to the chaos, because you still have to turn the lights on. You still have to go to work. You still have to get gas. You still have to do all of the things that you've been doing in your life. But now with the knowledge that things are going to be different, they're going to change. And to your point, now you understand that things will be different. There will be democratically held elections. We are going to figure out sooner rather than later who is going to be running the country by the will of the people of Venezuela. That's the thing. Keeping it out of the chaotic situation and making it more an opportunity for the people to do what needs to be done.
That's what we all want. Venezuelans or not. That's what we all that believes in democracy, that believe in free countries, believe in free will. That's exactly what we need, and that's exactly what President Trump is achieving for Venezuela and other countries.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, sir, this was great. I really do appreciate a few minutes of your time. All the best. God bless. Would love to have you on once again in the future. This was great. Thanks so much.
Anytime, Drew. My pleasure.
All right, great to see you. That is Jaime Flores joining us on Florida's Voice, RNC Hispanic Communications Director, and talking about Venezuela. And again, I think that's such an important point that Rick De La Torre brought up and Jaime brought up as well, which is, look, the experts say, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that to Trump? And it's like, we want to keep some kind of stability, but the leadership there, who quite honestly are not better than Maduro, understand now that there is going to be a change. There is going to be a democratically held election, and we're going to see whether or not they want you or somebody else, without the chaos in the streets that we hope and pray is not going to transpire. And so a different way of doing things. That is, that lately is no doubt very Trumpian, if you see what I'm saying. All right, 866-588-8303 is the phone number. I know I'm looking at a lot of different stories here. Oh, I wanted to mention this one because yesterday, D, you remember this from yesterday? We were talking about Hilton Hotels and what they did in that independently owned hotel in Minnesota, how they denied DHS and ICE from being okay. So everybody was like, "Oh no, this looks like it's going to be another one of those Bud Light moments." Oh no, please, we don't want another Bud Light moment with Hilton Hotels. And then people started to bring up, well, wait a minute. You do realize that most, or not most, but all of the hotels through Hilton are either independently owned or independently run, right? So you have the Hilton umbrella, but you still have the independence of the ownership, especially there in Minnesota. So is it possible maybe Hilton would say something to put an end to what has been the whispers and the discussion about Bud Light? No, oh boy. Yeah, they did. And so a statement from Hilton Hotels on a recent video, and let's see if you can see this. Here it is. The independent hotel owner has assured us that they have fixed this problem and published a message confirming it. A recent video clearly raises concerns that they're not meeting our standards and values. As such, we are taking immediate action to remove this hotel from our systems. Hilton is, and always has been, a welcoming place for all. We are also engaging with all of our franchisees to reinforce the standards we hold them to across our system to help ensure this does not happen again. So if you're wondering, oh man, is this going to be? Nope, they're putting an end to that fast. So Hilton Hotels with the statement like, that's not us. We don't know. We don't. That's not our thing. That's not what we do here. So they're saying that they've fixed the issues, and I guess we keep an eye on it, and we see how that goes. So just an interesting side note in the story that took place just a little while ago. Okay, some of the other things that are going, oh man, there's so much Tim Walz news. Maybe I'll get to that later. I don't want to play. Yeah, okay. I really do want to play some of the Tim Walz presser. Let me just play this one clip, and then I promise we'll move on to other things because there's so much going on today. So, as our own Eric L. Daw, D-A-U-G-H on X, Eric Doherty, posted about 2 hours ago, the people were looking at this video, and Tim Walz getting very, very upset and a little excitable there at this presser. You know, as he's got the pin of, hey, D, is that the pin of Somali? Is that the Somali flag pin that's on his lapel there? What flag is that?
Sure looks like it.
It does look like the Somali flag. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the brand new Minnesota flag that everybody was like, hey, this old flag is just, it's not a high-flying flag. And we don't want it forever in peace, having it wave. See what I did there? A little, like a... Anyway, the point is that... it was Tim Walz in Minnesota who decided that we had to get rid of that old flag and bring in a new one that looks suspiciously a lot like a Somali flag, as people have been describing, allegedly. I'm just saying, and that's on his lapel. So here he is getting very upset about a lot of different things, including people asking, like, why did you decide you're not going to run in 2026? Did it have to do with the fraud or anything like that? And now he's like...
Their idea of improving this state is being a parrot for Donald Trump, agreeing to everything that he agreed with.
The TDS is deep with this one. Is there a way that, could you do it? Can you try not to introduce Trump into every single thing? Like, I know you don't want people to look at the fraud in Minnesota. I know you want people to think that you are as clean as the wind-driven snow. I get it. But can you do all of that without having to mention... Oh, no, it's impossible.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. It ain't happening. I'm not going anywhere. And you can make all your requests for me to resign over my dead body. Will that happen?
Well, we don't want you to die. But hey, how about the resigning thing? Can you do that?
I will fight this thing till the very end to make this state better. And the question that I think they need to decide is when did the guy in the White House resign?
So if you're thinking to yourself, I wonder if Tim Walz, the governor of the state of Minnesota right now, who's not running for re-election in 26, could talk about everything that has been transpiring in the state and the reasons why he decided to get out of the 26 race. I wonder if any of that could encompass something that has to do with exactly what is going on in the state, as opposed to pivoting to Donald Trump, because no, it's no, it's a straight up pivot to Donald Trump. And of course it's his fault. And oh man. Yep, that is what we're dealing with. All right. Hey, do we have any Florida stories? There was a couple. Well, yeah, there were a couple of things. All right, I didn't get to mention this yesterday. Let's do this now. The Florida GOP is launching a website targeting U.S. Representative Jared Moskowitz and his voting record. They launched this new website called outoftouchmoskowitz.com. And it's aimed at criticizing the voting record of one Democrat U.S. representative, and that would be Jared Moskowitz, by the way. The site portrays him as aligned with national Democratic leaders rather than voters in the state of Florida. The state Republicans say that Moskowitz opposes tax cuts, lower energy costs, tax relief on overtime pay, and according to the Florida GOP, those positions have contributed to a higher cost for Floridians during a period of inflation under Joe Biden's administration.
Not a joke.
Thanks, Joe. You know, I bring this up for a couple of different reasons. Number one, because it's true. I mean, those are the positions. And the question becomes for any single solitary Democrat that is running for office in the state of Florida. I don't care if it's at the state level. I don't care if it's at the local level, city council, county commission. Did they still have they still have dog catchers? They call them, it's like domestic animal services, I think is what they call it now, right? It's not, they don't call them dog catchers.
Animal control?
Animal control, right. Or yeah, I guess that's what it would be. Animal control. Not like a dog catcher. What do you like better? Animal control or dog catcher?
Animal control.
Why? I like
because they don't only catch dogs.
All right, but when I think of someone who's going out to get a varmint, however you would say it. When I think of somebody who's going out to get a dog or a cat or even something verminous, I want them to catch it. So I like the intent of it. Anyway, okay. The point is that no matter what level you are running at in the state of Florida, you have to, and I'm saying this right now to everybody who's listening to me across the state of Florida, we need to do this when it comes to vetting the Democrats in this state, when it comes to vetting some of the people that will be running in your local elections who want you to believe, because it's a nonpartisan race, that maybe that they're Republican, or that you can ask them, because in a nonpartisan race, it's illegal. You know, you can't ask me whether or not I have a voting record that would prove I'm a Democrat and trying to pull the wool over your eyes. No, we can. Yes, we can. We can find out. But we have to make sure that we are vetting every single person who is a Democrat or is trying to run, well, I guess the vetting process would be those that are running as Republican locally to make sure in especially nonpartisan races. But we have to speak to Democrats and ask them a very, very simple question. Why are you a Democrat? In other words, do you side with the party or not? And what does the party stand for? And what are the things that the party stands for that's going to make this country better? We won't say great because we don't want you to flip out, which is really weird. But seriously, where do you stand on the issues is what people usually ask. Don't do that. Ask them why they're a Democrat. And what about the party now as it currently exists? Because what'll end up happening is if you ask them why they're a Democrat, they will give you all the usual answers about being for the middle class and we got to strengthen. They'll say everything that they said 50 years ago that doesn't exist in the party today. Doesn't. Not happening. Because they can't say it. They can't say that I'm the party of Vandani because that's who and what the party is now. They'll never say it in the state because they know they'll lose. And then what they do is they try to run in certain races and convince you that, no, I'm a Republican. Oh, by the way, don't ask me about my record. Yeah, so we just have to be careful of that. So the Republican Party has this website, Out of Touch Moskowitz, by the way, spelled MOSKOWITZ.com. And they are criticizing the voting record, and you can see it there for yourself and how out of touch, really, he is there. Florida GOP also criticized Moskowitz for opposing efforts to block taxpayer-funded benefits for people in the country illegally. In addition, the party says Moskowitz has declined to publicly condemn fellow Democrat Representative Sheila Sherfilis McCormick, who has been indicted on federal charges alleging she stole millions of dollars in disaster relief funds. Oh, that's so Democrat. Did I say that out loud? And she's denied any wrongdoing. So just putting it out there. Maybe you might want to peruse the website and see a little bit there for yourself. All right, what else do we have going on here? All right, 866-588-8303. Strata Air Conditioning and Heating understand that it's important that you have people who are committed to you, the customer, and 5-star customer service. What does that mean? What does that entail? Well, it entails making sure that you sell and service every major manufacturer the best. Carrier, Goodman, Dakin, Trane, Mitsubishi, and Lennox. It means that they are here when you need them most, for example, with a Strata AC tune-up so that your unit, maybe less than 10 years old, is running at its peak performance, or that if it is 10 years old or older, to let you know that, look, they are here if you need that replacement. So visit strataac.com. That's STRADAAC.com. You can schedule an appointment, get a text confirmation, even track your text progress to your home. That is STRADAAC.com. You ought to call Strata. License number CACO 43953. All right, top of the news from the Florida's Voice newsroom is coming up. My name is Drew Steele. It's Florida's Voice.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families. And one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I have to tell you, when my wife and I talked about getting new kitchen countertops for our house, we know who to call. Rock Solid Countertops and More, 2240 J&C Boulevard in Naples. And they have been absolutely amazing. Hugo and the team are the best. The workmanship has been absolutely incredible. The install was so easy. The process was perfect. Taking everything out, bringing the new stuff in. The quartz countertop is unbelievably beautiful, and my wife is super happy, I'll tell you. You know they have the best quality and selection of marble, quartz, granite, and a one-stop shop for all of your kitchen, outdoor, and bathroom needs. I've known it for years. I've lived in Southwest Florida 40 years. There was really only one place I was going to go. It's rock-solid countertops and more. I would suggest you give them a call, 596-7676. They're at 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. Find out what they can do for you. Countertops, cabinets, plantation shutters, they do it all. Rock solid countertops and more.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Since the dawn of time, man and wildlife have shared a connection, and hunting traditions passed down from generation to generation have connected man to the natural world, from bow and arrow to hook and bullet. As man evolved, our link to those traditions remain with them forever. Yet today, our basic instinct to provide and as part of the hunt to conserve and appreciate the natural world has fallen under attack for the first time in human history. The misguided politicians and radical activists pushing an agenda to end hunting as we know it, or leading a war against our heritage and their misguided policies and protests. They demonize hunters and belittle our way of life, the results of hunters leaving the sport in droves, while our wildlife and ecosystems suffer the consequences as conservation funding dries up. Named after the father of the North American model for wildlife conservation, the International Order of T. Roosevelt is fighting in the arena to protect and expand the rights of hunters everywhere. We will fight back against these forces to make sure that every American has a right to hunt, enshrined in their state constitutions. We will educate the next generation in our traditions and seek to expand accessibility so that everyone can enjoy our pastimes. And we will continue to hold true to our namesake's efforts to protect, preserve, and ensure open access to our nation's wild lands. Teddy Roosevelt's vision for American conservation defines our modern hunting and conservation system, a system upheld by the idea that conservation efforts are crucial to our hunting way of life, and that hunters are crucial to successful conservation.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? It's time to shift gears and seize the fresh opportunities this new pro-business environment has to offer. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and the team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you, helping you go on the offense with advanced tax strategies, thoughtful risk management, and forward-thinking financial planning. Imagine enjoying the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve, all while staying one step ahead, and in a changing world, you've got to do it. Alfie and his team design personalized strategies to strengthen your financial foundation so you can focus on living life on your terms. Ready to find out more? Text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, you can call or text 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and see how a proactive approach can help you thrive no matter what the market does next. Don't wait. Call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470 right now.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
All right, anytime you want to watch at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook, and anytime you want to check out the program after hours, Florida's Voice with Drew Steele, the podcast. All right, let's find out what's going on in the Florida's Voice newsroom right now. It's top of the news. Top of the news.
Top of the news. Florida's headlines.
Now. Sometimes you got to push the button a little harder. All right, Anita Padilla is in the Florida's Voice newsroom. She's got the latest. What's up?
Hey there, Drew. Lawmakers in Tallahassee are gearing up for the beginning of next week's legislative session. Can you believe it? It's already here. And because it's so close, they want to get these bills filed. So we're going to be seeing a lot of them this week. Now, among them, targeting school safety, foreign influence, and the privacy of public servants. I'll have that in just a moment. But first, let's talk about today's press conference with Governor Ron DeSantis and Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. The governor is backing a push to ban members of Congress from trading individual stocks. He says this is basically legalized insider trading, and he was there today with Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. He says some of the lawmakers are posting returns that are dwarfing Wall Street's top investors. And while Florida cannot force a ban, he says he is proposing a new transparency requirement. It would be a sort of checkbox on a candidate form, and it would require that federal hopefuls would say whether they plan to trade stocks while they are in office. So this way, voters would be able to see if lawmakers are keeping their word. The effort is part of a broader push for term limits and fiscal reform. Now let's talk about those proposals in Tallahassee. Okay, so the first one I want to tell you about requires both public and private K through 20 schools, yes, 20 schools, to adopt sexual violence policies and clearly notify parents and staff about available support. This would basically mean anybody from kindergarten all the way up until they graduate from college. House Republican Juan Porras filing that bill, as well as this one, a proposal that would let judges, law enforcement, and other public officials block data brokers from sharing their personal information. These bills were filed, and those now head to committees. Let's talk about another one filed by Senator Erin Grall. She wants to require agents of foreign countries of concern to register with the state, limiting government contracts. And State Rep Bernie Jacques filing a new bill at the Capitol. This one would tighten Florida's voter registration process. House Bill 985 would require citizenship verification for new voters and add a non-citizen marker to state ID cards. Voters showing that marker would then cast provisional ballots until citizenship is confirmed. The bill is sponsored again by State Rep Bernie Jacques. That would take effect on July 1st if it passes. All right, that's it for now. Hey, are you following us on X, Instagram, Facebook? Well, if you're not, you gotta be. You should be. That's where we keep you up to date on everything politics here in the Sunshine State and in D.C. All right, that's it for now. I'm Anita Padilla, the news director here for Florida's Voice. Drew, back over to you.
All right, AP in the Florida's Voice newsroom. We appreciate you there. Anytime you want to check out the stories they're working on is flvoicenews.com. Florida's Voice, that is the website. Yeah, by the way, a little bit of what Anna Paulina Luna was talking about today with the president as there is a major breakthrough in the fight against congressional insider trading, and a little bit of what she said today.
We have people that you would never expect, probably people that you don't politically align with, that are actually supporting these efforts because they know it's bad and it needs to end. And I'm happy to report, Governor, that we actually have met with the Speaker of the House and that we are going to be putting something on the floor coming up this quarter that will permanently stop the insider trading, which it is happening in Washington, D.C., but it's permanently going to stop it in D.C. So happy to report back on that. And frankly, I hope that some of my colleagues that are engaged in the process will have governors that will hold them accountable. Oh, so we want some governors that will hold them accountable, and certainly some people that are out there with the insider trading, and some have really taken advantage of it. And I know that's something that has come up a couple of different times with some politicians that we know.
And I'd like to talk to someone about this right now, among other things going on. You may know Michael Carbonara. He's running for U.S. Congress in Congressional District 25. He's joining us right now on Florida's Voice. A lot that I would love to talk to him about. It's always great to have him on the program. Hey, Michael, great to see you. How are you?
Hi, Drew. Yeah, thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I wonder what you think about that, if you have a thought on what has been going on and the concerns that you might have with, the trading that goes on in Congress. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's repugnant. I mean, it's the idea that politicians are getting to office just to make money and exploit their position. You're basically making it unfair for people that are actually investing in the market, who have their savings, their 401ks, their pensions. But at the same time, they're exploiting a position when they should be doing their job, serving the people of their district. It's unfair. It's unconscionable. I mean, everybody else has rules that they can't do insider trading. Why do they get an exemption? It's the same old rules for thee, but not for me. And people are tired of it. We have a demand so much right now for transparency in government. And people are realizing for the first time the amount of fraud and just conflicts of interest at a level that they really weren't aware of before.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an important issue in that there are two sides of this that people have brought up, even within the Republican Party, Democrats, whatever. But that there are certain individuals that are like, look, you have one side certainly that says, hey, how is it possible that you're there in Congress, you're making decisions that are going to affect, let's just say, companies and their bottom line, and you know what's coming, but yet you're able to trade and sometimes trade in those specific companies. I'm not saying that people like, Debbie Wasserman Schultz and others have maybe had the ability to see some things coming their way, Nancy Pelosi and the like, with regard to large refrigerators filled with all kinds of ice cream and other things and millions of dollars and the like. And then there's the other side that says, well, in Congress, they only make a certain amount. And so when you go there to have this opportunity is helpful. I'm not sure that that's necessarily a good play.
No, I'm not buying it. I mean, the idea of going to Congress, it was meant you were supposed to serve your country. You're supposed to give back.
Thank you.
It was never meant to be a lifelong career. Like Debbie Wasserman Schultz, she's never had a job in the private sector. She doesn't know how to make money except for insider trading. And really, the same rules need to apply. You can't have rules for people in office and different rules for the common person. It doesn't make any sense. They should be there serving the people and not exploiting the position. I mean, the latest statistics I've seen, she's actually a better stock picker than Warren Buffett, the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, how can that be? Unless, obviously, it's not rocket science. There's conflict of interest going on, and people are exploiting it.
Yeah, I think there was a website that I was personally looking at just the other day that was looking at how they do it. When you're on a committee that could have a conflict of interest if you're on said committee and you were to trade in something, and then ultimately you're on that committee and then you end up trading in what is being discussed in that committee. We might have some questions. So that's how they came up. But anyway, I really did want to have you on to talk a little bit about your thoughts on what has taken place in Venezuela with Maduro and what the president has done, and maybe some of the people you've been talking to in the district, and your thoughts overall on this.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you, I was at the rally here in South Florida on Saturday morning, just a few hours after the capture of Maduro. And, despite what the mainstream media is showing, despite the Democrats saying, I want to be informed of you going in there. First of all, this was not an invasion into a country. We're not at war with Venezuela. Everybody I've seen across South Florida, every Venezuelan has been joyful. They've been ecstatic. People were crying. For the first time, they have hope because these people had to flee their country. They're at risk of being kidnapped in the middle of the night, tortured, killed. They've been going hungry for 25 years. They've been starving. They've had a diaspora of 8 million people had to flee their country since 2016. So this was for most Venezuelans around the world, they're seeing this as a point of a restoration of freedom, where their country, which is once the 5th richest country in the world, that is now in shambles, they actually have freedom to rebuild their country now and be reunited with their family. I mean, and then you see people like Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She was actually attacking President Trump and our military because she wanted to have involvement in it. Well, I'd say, she's been in power longer than Maduro. She's done nothing. She's literally been in power longer than Maduro and has done nothing to stop Maduro. But President Trump has come in and arrested somebody that's been indicted. This is no different than what the U.S. did with Manuel Noriega and his drug shipments. So we're not nation building. We're not invading a country. We captured somebody who was indicted and somebody that has been destroying millions of lives for decades. Well, 15 years or so.
Yeah, and by the way, I might make mention, this is just me, this is Drew Steele talking right now. You might make a mention of the fact that, when it comes to having Democrats in Congress who need to know exactly what is going on with this administration and some of the things that they're planning with regard to military operations that are very, very sensitive. And we want to make sure that there are no leaks, because if there are leaks, then bad things happen. I'm not sure. For me, I'm not really sure the Democrats are up to the challenge of being, quiet, like shushing it. Just for me.
No, there's been a long history since 2017 of exploiting and leaking ever since Trump was in office. And so anytime you're having a military operation, nobody knows. Just like when you have an ongoing investigation, you don't disclose the investigation until you're completed. This was a military operation capturing somebody who was a danger, who was flooding the streets of America with narcotics, with gang members, destroying our communities, somebody that's been supplying their oil to China. And so I see this as not just protecting our communities, but stopping somebody who's an adversary to the United States that's actively trying to disrupt and destroy our nation and our kids.
Yeah. Michael, before we go, how's the campaign going there in Florida's 25?
Everything's going great. We're now starting the new year. The election is just now several months away instead of next year. So we're very excited. We're doing a lot of, we launched our own podcast coming up this month about the campaign. We're having some guests on there, some local politicians, some local candidates, people in the community. And we're really getting on the streets, getting out there and talking to people, finding out what really matters to them. And we're really running to restore their freedoms and fix the economic opportunity, affordability in this country, which now with the January 1st, the new bill going into effect, we're going to see a lot of that happening this year.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Michael Carbonara joining us on Florida's Voice, a candidate there, Republican candidate in District 25 here in the state of Florida for Congress. And it's always great to have you on the program, my friend. All the best. God bless. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Drew.
All right. We appreciate a few minutes of his time today. By the way, anytime you want to call, 866-588-8303. All right. And a little bit on what was said today. The governor was even talking about Nicolas Maduro. He was talking about what the state is exploring when it comes to a case against Maduro. He said this earlier today.
We are looking very seriously at, and not necessarily as me, I'll be supportive, but it's through the Attorney General's office that is able to bring these things, to be able to bring potentially a state case against Nicolas Maduro. He was obviously very involved with drugs. He was obviously very involved with bringing drugs, particularly to Florida and across the. But you know what he would also do, and this is not in the federal indictment in New York. He would empty his prisons and send them to America across the border, and we'd end up with some of these people in Florida. Tren de Aragua gang members that were in prison there, and he did that. And so to me, that is a very hostile act. So we're looking at the statutes to see, obviously we've got robust narcotic statutes, but certainly on that importing the criminal element.
All right, so looking into it, and certainly with importing the criminal element and the like, so the governor exploring state-level case against Maduro following the Venezuelan leader's capture by U.S. forces, and the Attorney General's office leading the way, and a legal review bring charges under our robust narcotics and public safety statutes. So we'll keep an eye on this, and as he described, what Maduro was doing. Listen, the president's talked about it, emptying the prisons to send Tren de Aragua gang members across the border and into Florida communities. And so the governor saying, look, we're going to look into this with the Attorney General's office, and that is a good thing, keeping the citizens here safe. And listen, what we can do as well, and if we could do a state-level case, let's go. All right. Anytime you want to watch it, FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, and Instagram. Let's take a break. and we will have more coming up. My name is Drew Steele, and this is Florida's Voice.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, if you're looking to take advantage of today's pro-business environment and strengthen your financial future, certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group have got you covered. They specialize in advanced tax strategies, risk management, and retirement planning, all aimed at helping high net worth investors like you thrive. Now, Alfie wants to share those insights with you with his book, Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway. It's packed with practical tips and forward-thinking strategies to help you make the most out of your hard-earned wealth. Ready to get your free copy? Text BOOK to 239-747-7470. That's 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Learn how to capitalize on that pro-business opportunities that are out there right now and secure the confident retirement you deserve. Once again, text BOOK to 239-747-7470 right now, and let Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group help guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
McDonald's is facing a lawsuit that accuses them of falsely claiming its McRib sandwich contains real pork rib meat when it's actually made of restructured shoulder, heart, and scalded stomach. Yeah, but people don't get as excited when you say the McStomach is back.
Yeah, he's got a point there. I mean, it's that is true, D. I mean, are you getting excited about having the mixed stomach? Do we?
Can't say I am.
Yeah, no. Do we really need to know all of that? I mean, are there people? Well, I guess if you had a McRib, you probably thought there was rib meat there, even though the McRib itself is just it's structured to look like ribs, but they're clearly not. Like they even tried to make, right? Don't they have like the mold? Like they mold it to look like it's a couple of ribs together.
Right, like a rack.
Yeah, as opposed to it's just meat in a patty. And we're not gonna. It's rib meat. I don't know, but yeah. Sometimes it's like ixnay on the ingredients. I don't need to know what exactly the ingredients are. It's tasty. That's good enough for me. Or not, sometimes. All right, 866-588-8303. I love that Elon Musk is getting more and more involved on X and talking a lot about different things with regard to keeping this nation great. Almost like America first. Almost like making sure that America is great again. And continuing what the president has been doing and the calls to do specific things that are really, really important. Like when you are asking politicians, hey, the SAVE Act, why are we not there yet? The SAVE Act to require proof of citizenship in federal elections. Like, hello, I'm raising my hand here. Can you explain to me why we're not doing that? Like, why is this not a thing? Like, in other words, getting it over the finish line and having the president sign it. Why are you not doing this, Republicans? You had Senators Mark Wayne Mullen and Mike Lee that were calling on the Senate to immediately pass this. And Elon Musk has talked about this. As a matter of fact, I love that he's bringing this up, kind of like a reminder. He called on Californians to sign a petition to put voter ID on the ballot in the 26th election. You need 1 million signatures. And, well, I'm sorry, I guess they need 200,000 more, but they've already reached the 1 million mark. So they surpassed that. They need 200,000 more that would legally require photo ID to vote and verification of signature. And I think we have it here. Is this what it looks like? Yeah, this is what it looks like. There it is. Sign on to it. Sign on to the California voter ID petition. And they've got 1,100,287 signatures so far as of January 4th. And they're going to keep updating. And if they can get to 1.2 million, then this is something that will go on the California ballot, which is going to drive the left crazy because it's almost as if they have to continue to make sure this doesn't happen because they're going to cheat. No, seriously. I mean, why else would you not want voter identification proof of who you are for federal elections? Because people are like, unless you're cheating, it makes no sense. And that's what we're trying to say. And we don't want things getting weird.
Things are getting weird, and they're getting weird fast.
Yeah, they are. Thank you, Elon. So we want to make sure that they don't get any more weird, and we reverse the weirdness to go in the opposite direction. So if we can get the SAVE Act passed, that would be nice. If we can have all 50 states requiring voter ID to end the fraud, because why else would you not want this to take place? Everybody knows it. And that's what's so frustrating to people, Republicans specifically. Like, why are Republicans not moving forward with this federally? Like, what's going on here? Let's go. All right. 866-588-8303. My name is Drew Steele. This right here is Florida's Voice.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it. No way.
No way. No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele. Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Congratulations on your show.
Congratulations on your new show. Big deal, huh?
That's why shows like yours are so important. We have an independent county elected sheriff that's the head of law enforcement in Jacksonville/Duval County. And I know how to work toward making this city safe.
We can't be shy about speaking on things such as faith and politics. We have to remember, in a free society, the public square belongs to all of us.
I'm not interested in North Florida looking like Orlando or Miami. I love where we live, but I think that good jobs means that people that live in this district can stay in this district.
Fishing and hunting is funding a large part of your conservation projects in Florida, and we want to make sure that those are forever preserved.
And the problem with this industry at this point is that they actually target our youth. You can see it in their marketing strategies, where it's bright colors, fun names.
And that's going to be endlessly litigated.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? Now might be the perfect time to go on offense and seize the opportunities presented by the new pro-business environment ushered in by President Trump and his administration. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you. They create strategies designed to help manage taxes, control risks, and boost your financial confidence. It's a forward-thinking approach that can strengthen your foundation so you can enjoy the lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve. If you're ready to see how Alfie's team can help elevate your plan, call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and discover proactive strategies to help you thrive in an ever-changing world. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Let Alfie Townsend and the Advantage Retirement Group team guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
I've been dipping snuff for well over 30 years. You know, I could wake up in the morning and have a weird lump in my gums. Guess it's like playing Russian roulette, really. I would love grandchildren. And if by quitting it extends my life some, I would gladly lay it down.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
Today, push harder, push forward, push vigorously.
There are things that I am hiding from people that I'm trying to inspire.
You can do whatever you set your mind to.
I feel like a hypocrite a lot of the times.
Don't give up on yourself ever.
Smoking, I hide it because I'm ashamed of it. I want to get out of the shadow. I want to show people there is light away from the darkness. I am going to quit.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know I love the Floor Meisters in Naples. Locally family-owned business, 3 generations of Meisters. Listen, what are you looking for? Carpet, tile, hardwood, a Quartec? Maybe that's what you're looking for. And why don't we talk to TJ Meister right now of the Floor Meisters and find out what's going on with CoreTech. What's up, TJ?
Well, we're just keeping up with the demand for CoreTech. Just had to order a truck and bring it in from the West Coast of the United States to keep up with all the needs and wants of the people of Southwest Florida. Somebody doesn't have it, give me a call. I probably do.
I tell you, I love my CoreTech floor. People love it. What is it about it that makes it so awesome?
Well, it's waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. So if you got a pool, no problem. If you got a dog, no problem. If you got a husband that spills, no problem.
Floor Meisters, that's who I trust, and you should as well. 6281 Naples Boulevard in Naples. 239-596-4964 for the Floor Meisters.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for your support for veterans in the military. Educating us. Standing up for conservatism. Giving us the truth.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Well, hey, everybody. Glad you're joining us today on Florida's Voice. My name is Drew Steele. Big D over there on the other side of the glass. Nina's in the breaking newsroom. And you watching us at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, and Instagram, and Florida's Voice with Drew Steele, the podcast, anytime you want to get it after the show is over. Coming up, fraud, Minnesota? No. Can you prove it? Can you prove what you shouldn't do if you have, let's say, a center that takes care of the elderly? Maybe you have some home health care. Can you give me an example of what you shouldn't do as a business that might make people feel like you're committing fraud? Why, yes, I can do that. So, D, it's really weird. I'm talking to myself. I'm having a conversation. I'm in trouble. I'm having a conversation with myself. This is. I could have just said this to you. Anyway. All right. So we'll have that coming up in just a bit. But first, let's talk a little bit about what the president had to say today. As he was addressing Republicans, a couple of things that they probably need to know. You need to win in 26. We need some wins here. We've got to make sure that the slim majority that we have right now, that seems to be getting slimmer by the minute. Can we do something and make that head in a different direction?
In the midterms, because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, I mean, they'll find a reason to impeach me.
Yep.
I'll get impeached. We don't impeach them. You know why? Because they're meaner than we are. We should have impeached Joe Biden for 100 different things.
Now, wait a second. Should we have? I mean, you know, some might say...
True international average of pressure.
Was reason enough alone to do something, and we didn't even do anything with that. So, yeah, he's right.
They are mean and smart. But fortunately for you, they have horrible policy.
Yeah.
They can be smart as can be, but when they want open borders, when they want, as I said, men and women sports, when they want transgender for everyone, bring your kids in, we're going to change the sex of your child. Just send them our way. In some cases, like in Minnesota, they don't even tell the parents. Is that right? And nobody believes it when I say it. I think we have 6 states. Nobody, am I correct? Okay, Tom Emmer said yes, so. But it's true. Where the kid comes back, they keep the kid. They operate on the kid. They don't.
Can you imagine? So the president is right about a few different things, as usual. Number one, we do have to win in the 26 midterms. They're going to spend every single waking moment trying to impeach the president if we don't. But one thing I just want to make clear, he said a couple of other things I wanted to get to. He's right. They have horrible policies, and fortunately for the Republicans, that is a good thing and something they could point to. Don't lean on it. Don't think it's the only thing. Don't think just because you know and I know that their policies are horrible means that they're going to lose. That's not how you do this. You also have to show why people want to vote for you. That is an important aspect of the story, is it not? And if Republicans refuse to do anything about, for example, the SAVE Act and not voting on it, that is something that really is frustrating to Republicans. Like, why are you not doing this, signing off on the SAVE Act in Congress to make sure that when it comes to federal elections that you have to have voter ID? Why are we not doing this?
They vote on paper ballots. They tried voting by mail, and there was fraud all over the country. We're the only country that votes by mail, essentially. You know that, right? You know, Speaker, that's another thing. We're the only country that's stupid enough to vote by mail. Even Jimmy Carter's commission said don't do it. But just to finish so that you won't say.
Okay. So the president was talking specifically looking at Speaker Mike Johnson is like, come on. Can I paraphrase? Come on, man. Come on. What are we doing here? Let's not be stupid. Right? It's that simple. Don't be stupid. Please don't. A couple of other things from the president before we move on. The talk of tariffs. Some people love tariffs. Some people not exactly fan of tariffs. But the president is like, I don't know if you know this.
We're getting rich because of tariffs, by the way. I hope everyone understands that. They hate to report. We're going to have over $650 billion poured into our country or coming in shortly because of tariffs. You know, they're finding all of these pockets of money a couple of weeks ago. Sir, we're off by $39 billion. Oh, is that good or bad? Meaning, do we have it or are we short of it? Sir, it's $39 billion that we can't account for. That means we have an extra 39. Yes, sir. I said, well, what are you saying? We just don't know where it came from. I said, check the tariff shelf. Sir, that tariff doesn't start until September. I said, no. It started about a month and a half ago. Check it.
And that's where it came from. Although, wait a second. Maybe that money came from all the billionaires and millionaires and billionaires, right, Bernie?
Are you supportive of these onesies?
Absolutely not. Maybe it's from all of the super wealthy, Mitt Romney and the like, who are like, yeah, you should charge us, you should take more of our taxes. Maybe it's the rich who have decided that they're just going to hand it over themselves. Maybe that's where it came from. Maybe the Mitt Romneys of the world and others that are out there demanding that we take more tax dollars from the uber wealthy and the rich. And what is uber wealthy? I don't know. You make $500,000? That's Uber. Wait, is it? Yeah? How'd you pick that number? Anyway, the point is, that's not what happened. Although there are plenty of people out there who could do just that. Look, if you think you're not being taxed enough, hand over the money. Send it off to the federal government. What are you waiting for? You need to clear your throat? Are you okay over there? No, seriously. So, all right, a little bit of what the president had to say today, and we will get to more of what he had to say coming up here at Florida's Voice. All right, what else we got going on? 866-588-8303. Oh, look at this, everybody. It's a TDS update.
If you're crazy and you know it sounds like this.
Donald Trump and his extremist allies.
If you're crazy and you know it sounds like this.
We are indifferent to his erratic behavior.
If you're crazy and you know it, let your Trump derangement show it. If you're crazy and you know it sounds like this.
Well, I'm not listening to you.
Well, you're going to have to. Hey, everybody. Jerry Nadler is in Congress there in New York. And I guess George Conway, who is like somebody described as TDS patient zero. Like, this dude is seriously, there's something really wrong. Like, his whole world, his whole life is being spent going and trying to go after Trump. And now I guess he's running for Congress with a fantastic brand new. I sound like it's like a Ronco, like back in the days. It dices, mices, minces, molds, and makes tons of Julian salads. It's a great new commercial from TDS Patient Zero. Here's George Conway with a little bit of his thoughts on why he's running for Congress in New York.
When we see it,
we're going to walk down to the Capitol.
Oh, look at that. Oh, it's a J6, just in time for J6 today. Look at that. So there's George Conway, who puts out this video today, taking the President of the United States words completely out of context and showing some of what took place on January 6th. Hey, how many of those were feds? I'm just asking. I don't know.
Hear it.
We will give them pardons.
Read it. And feel it. We find it hard to believe.
Oh, would you look at that? Hey, everybody. And added on to that is a little bit of, to the right, Elon Musk saying, my heart goes out to you. But, of course, it's a Nazi salute. Everybody knows that. No, that's not what it was. But George Conway had to put that in because he's got TDS.
We find it hard to believe. But it's real. It's happening on the streets of New York City every day.
Hey, let me ask you a question about the streets of New York City every single day. George Conway, who wants to be a congressman there in New York and take the place of Jerry Nadler. Let me ask you this question. Hey, who's been running the city of New York lately? Oh, D, I'm trying to help me out with this. It's a letter. And the party that's been running New York City for the longest time right now. And if you're worried about what's been going on the streets of New York City, who is it? Who's been running things over there? Oh, which party is it?
Is it the Democrats?
That's it. It's got a D, like you. Oh, that's how you knew. Big D, Derek, Democrat. Not that you are. Okay. Anyway.
Whoa.
I know. I'm backing up. Anyway, the video, of course, is not about happening on the streets of New York City every day and all the things that are going on because of the crime and the way the city's been run. No. It's about ICE being on the streets. That's what he's talking about in the video, just so you know.
And just when you think it can't get any worse, it does. It has to stop. We must make it stop.
Okay, yeah, please make it stop. So that's George Conway, TDS Patient Zero, who really needs to stop. So that's him with his brand new ad out there because he's running to replace Jerry Nadler in Congress. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because it's a funny video, and if you have the time to watch it, save your time because it's like 2 minutes and 20 seconds of time you'll never get back. I played enough. You had enough of it. So that's our TDS update of the day, everybody.
If you're crazy and you know it sounds like this.
Donald Trump and his extremist allies.
If you're crazy and you know it sounds like this.
We are indifferent to his erratic behavior.
If you're crazy and you know it, let your Trump derangement show it. If you're crazy and you know it sounds like this.
Well, I'm not listening to you.
Oh, okay, thanks so much. What else we got going on here at Florida's Voice? All right, hey, Democrats do fun stuff, like fraud. Did I say that out loud? That's a horrible thing to say about, not every Democrat is a fraudster. But there's a lot of them. It's a strange thing, I mean, politically. I'm not saying every Democrat that you meet. If you bump into somebody and they're like, hey, I'm a Democrat, usually, typically, that person you just bumped into, they're fine. I don't know why they're a Democrat, and they probably couldn't tell you why either, because the party... Anyway, the point is that there's been a lot of fraud and stuff going on in areas like Minnesota. And I want to make sure that even though we're into 2026 and even though there are a lot of new headlines out there like Venezuela and other things that are going on, please let's not lose focus on what has been happening there and the fraud that needs to be exposed. By the way, it has been. We'll get to that in just a bit. Here's Ohio attorney Mehek Cook, who decided to try to go into a home health care office, a Somali care center, and just was like, hey, I just wanted to find out more about your services. Now, if you want the quintessential example of how you shouldn't act if you are a legitimate business and you're really doing well and you're kind of full and you may need to look someplace else for the services that we provide because we're kind of packed at the moment. This is it. This is how you don't act Watch.
How may I help you?
Oh, are you with this?
What's going on?
I was just going to ask a couple questions about home health care.
Yeah, just wanted to ask a couple of questions about home health care, if you don't mind.
Somebody in their 90s?
Yeah, somebody in their 90s. Just wanted to find out about home health care.
We're not ready to answer questions.
Okay. You're not taking patients?
No, we're not taking patients.
Okay. So he says we're not answering questions, and she's like, "You're not taking any patients? No, we're not." Oh, okay.
All right.
It's
So,
free to go.
okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. That's it. So she decides to leave. Says hi to a couple of people that are standing in the hallway, looking like, I don't know, just hanging out in the hallway. That's it. And then she walks away, and then somebody else decides to ask a question of the person who I guess has a little camera, and says,
Hey, what's doing here?
Asking about home health care services?
Look, you're not asking on home health care services. I know you. I know you.
I don't think you know me.
Yeah, I know you.
Okay, I'm the heck.
No, I'm not gonna shake hands
That's
with you.
okay.
I'm not going to shake hands with you. That's okay. All right. Well, again, so this goes on for 7 minutes, and I can't play the whole thing. Actually, I could, but I'm not going to. But let's just put it this way. There you have the example. It's like, I'm not going to shake your hand. I know you are. And we're done. We're done here. We need to go. But I don't understand. If you are a legitimate business and you're doing really well, and you're in Ohio and you're feeling pretty good about stuff, and I'm flattered that you have a family member that you would like to entrust with us. But unfortunately, we don't have any space right now. But may I give you a card and some pamphlets? And in the future, if something happens or comes up, we'll reach out to you or you. D, do you see what I'm doing right now? Do you see this back and forth I'm having with you? This is how you conduct business with someone when you are legitimately a business that is full and you just don't have any more. I'm going to give you some. Here you go, D. Here's a couple of pamphlets for you. And let's get these out to you right now. And here's my card. And no, nothing like this. We're not taking patients. Go. Is this how you do business? Are we sure about? Again. And I'm bringing it up because we get more and more examples of the fraud. We get more and more examples of how we need to dive into a lot of different areas around the country, not just Minnesota, but Ohio, New Jersey, Massachusetts, New York. I mean, we can go right down the line. And the great Maze Moore on X was putting something out today about the child care fraud saga. And he's so spot on about this. It's strange because years ago it was fully investigated, documented, reported on. They had state investigators, and we talked about this a couple of weeks back. They've already looked into this. They wanted to stop the child care fraud, and they spent all of these years gathering evidence. They had everything they needed, a detailed report to give to the Inspector General there, the DHS Inspector General. And what happened? What did they do with the information? They didn't meet with the team. They refused to discuss the findings of the report. And then they spent $90,000 of taxpayer money to have an outside company write a report saying that the fraud isn't as bad as they say it is. And it's all documented. They've known for years about this. The difference is that now, thanks to free speech media outlets, well, I guess it's free, like X, we have an opportunity for citizen journalists to go out and do the videos and hardcore reporting on this so that everybody can see, and then big name people look and see this is going on, and then question authorities who get to the government, who want to know more about what is happening and have real legitimate questions like, what are you going to do about this? I mean, they're not setting everything up in a way that would help, let's just say, people get elected in the future. I don't know. Nick Shirley was having that discussion about what all of this is about. Nick Shirley, obviously, who started the whole recent firestorm of the issues going on in Minnesota and kind of breaking it down.
And it's way beyond anybody's imagination, the total amount. The state doesn't even know. The feds don't even know. And so, for instance, why would that judge bow down to the head of the Somali mafia here?
What I can tell you is that it's a voting bloc, and what they say is if you do something to go against our community, we're going to vote for, and they all vote together, and there's ballot harvesting, I've seen them do it, that we're going to vote for your opponent unless you do what we tell you to do.
And so is it all purely for votes?
Yes.
And so this building right here, Cedar Riverside, major, massive apartment complex. How many Somalians do you think live in there, for instance?
Well, this is just one complex. You've got 20 more just like this around the Twin Cities, and they're all Somali. You're talking probably 100,000 or more people, and they're all living rent-free. They're driving a vehicle that you paid for. They're eating food that you paid for. Everything they do is something that you paid for.
Yeah. Yeah, but Trump. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but Trump. I know, D. I know, really. That's where we need to pivot because, so, yeah, they go block to block ballot harvesting. And the claim is that they've got one person that will go collect all the ballots for an entire complex, sometimes 9 ballots per apartment home, and then they submit them all for Democrats. And nobody tracks it. Yeah, so, again, anything and everything you can possibly do to stop all of this from happening, you should do it, right? Like the SAVE Act, federal elections, making sure we have voter ID. How are we doing with that? Not so good, unfortunately. So we need to work on a lot. Republicans need to work on a lot. And that's okay to say that. It's okay to question why in Congress they're dragging their feet on this. Why are they not getting it done? And that we need to demand that they do. Right, Bernie?
This is what you do.
Thank you, sir. Just saying. All right. What else do we have? I know we got to go to break in just a minute. I know I had some New York City news. So I guess, I don't know, D, you think we have enough time for some New York City news, or do you think we should probably wait until after the top 5 audio clips? Is that okay with you? We can kind of pivot to that after the fact, maybe. Yeah.
We do have a guest coming up.
Yeah, but I'm saying like later on after. All right, then you want me to do it right now. Okay, let me see then where I can go with this quickly. All right. Oh, yeah, why don't we just do this? Harmeet Dillon is the Assistant Attorney General, Civil Rights, Justice Department, serving under Pam Bondi. And when Mamdani and others have been saying that, boy, I'll tell you what, white people are really going to be affected by some of the policies that we're doing. And it almost sounds specifically like they're going after people that the Assistant Attorney General's like, we've got an eye on you and we got a couple of questions to ask.
Just because you're white doesn't mean you have fewer rights in this country. We all have equal rights in our country, and we will not stand for New York City violating any federal law whatsoever. They should be on notice. They are on high scrutiny, and we will swoop right in and do what's necessary to protect all citizens and taxpayers and residents of New York.
Yeah, but they're Democrats, and they get away with stuff, and they're probably going to get away with all of this because that's just because the Democrats are better than you. I mean, they're really not, but that's what they think. So, Harmeet Dillon, Assistant Attorney General, the Justice Department is like, yeah, we're watching you, and if you're discriminating, doesn't matter who it is, we're watching. All right. Strata Air Conditioning and Heating are here when you need them most, whether it is a Strata AC tune-up or whether it is the fact that you need a brand new air conditioning unit. Why not reach out? StrataAC.com across the state of Florida. Schedule an appointment, get a text confirmation, even track your text progress to your home. StradaAC.com. You ought to call Strata. License number CACO 43953. All right, top 5 audio clips of the day. It's my top 5 coming up.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times.
being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I have to tell you, when my wife and I talked about getting new kitchen countertops for our house, we know who to call. Rock Solid Countertops and More, 2240 J&C Boulevard in Naples. And they have been absolutely amazing. Hugo and the team are the best. The workmanship has been absolutely incredible. The install was so easy. The process was perfect. Taking everything out, bringing the new stuff in. The quartz countertop is unbelievably beautiful, and my wife is super happy, I'll tell you. You know they have the best quality and selection of marble, quartz, granite, and a one-stop shop for all of your kitchen, outdoor, and bathroom needs. I've known it for years. I've lived in Southwest Florida 40 years. There was really only one place I was going to go. It's Rock Solid Countertops and More. I would suggest you give them a call, 596-7676. They're at 2240 J&C Boulevard in Naples. Find out what they can do for you. Countertops, cabinets, plantation shutters, they do it all. Rock Solid Countertops and More.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true, people are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 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 855-SHARE-40.
Since the dawn of time, man and wildlife have shared a connection, and hunting traditions passed down from generation to generation have connected man to the natural world, from bow and arrow to hook and bullet. As man evolved, our link to those traditions remain with them forever. Yet today, our basic instinct to provide and as part of the hunt to conserve and appreciate the natural world has fallen under attack for the first time in human history. The misguided politicians and radical activists pushing an agenda to end hunting as we know it, or leading a war against our heritage and their misguided policies and protests. They demonize hunters and belittle our way of life, the results of hunters leaving the sport in droves, while our wildlife and ecosystems suffer the consequences as conservation funding dries up. Named after the father of the North American model for wildlife conservation, the International Order of T. Roosevelt is fighting in the arena to protect and expand the rights of hunters everywhere. We will fight back against these forces to make sure that every American has a right to hunt, enshrined in their state constitutions. We will educate the next generation in our traditions and seek to expand accessibility so that everyone can enjoy our pastimes. And we will continue to hold true to our namesake's efforts to protect, preserve, and ensure open access to our nation's wild lands. Teddy Roosevelt's vision for American conservation defines our modern hunting and conservation system, a system upheld by the idea that conservation efforts are crucial to our hunting way of life, and that hunters are crucial to successful conservation.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? It's time to shift gears and seize the fresh opportunities this new pro-business environment has to offer. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and the team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you, helping you go on the offense with advanced tax strategies, thoughtful risk management, and forward-thinking financial planning. Imagine enjoying the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve, all while staying one step ahead and in a changing world. You've got to do it. Alfie and his team design personalized strategies to strengthen your financial foundation so you can focus on living life on your terms. Ready to find out more? Text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, you can call or text 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and see how a proactive approach can help you thrive no matter what the market does next. Don't wait. Call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470 right now.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
All right, anytime you want to watch FL Voice News, YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, anytime you want to check out the program after hours, it's Florida's Voice with Drew Steele, the podcast. All right. We've got the top 5 audio clips of the day. It is my top 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is Drew's top 5. Number 5.
Poor residents on the west side and south side have been targeted. Unfortunately, this is a blue state, and many of us have supported these elected officials.
The religious leaders point the finger at the Cook County Assessor's Office and the County Board of Review for giving places like Trump Tower a break. Now, the Cook County Assessor, Fritz Kagi, responded with a statement pointing the finger elsewhere, saying, quote, "These property tax increases hitting South and West Side homeowners are flat out unfair, and they're the direct result of huge cuts that the Board of Review commissioners gave to large corporations."
All right, I'm losing it here. Okay, or I'm missing something here. Not really losing it, but I'm missing something. Okay, so faith leaders in Chicago showed up at Trump Tower to protest the concerns that they have about property tax increases that were hitting the South and West Side. And it's because of Democrats and Democrat policies. And that's the reason why this is happening. And so they show up at Trump Tower because they wanted to let people know there's a 100% property tax hike that was voted in by Democrats. So, okay, you know, should you show up maybe at City Hall and point to the building there, City Hall, and go, hey, you all of you in there, the Democrats, yeah. Hey, can you not do this? I mean, I'm just wondering, maybe that would have been a better play.
Number 4.
A stunningly fast end of an era for public media. After nearly 60 years, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting has voted to dissolve itself, forced to take the drastic measure after the Republican-held Congress voted to defund it at the behest of Donald Trump. The private agency has steered federal funding to PBS, NPR, and hundreds of public television and radio stations across the country.
What will we do? Wait a second. This is good news. Although, you know, CNN wanted to make it seem like it's the worst thing ever because they had to throw in Trump because TDS and Republicans because, you know, that's what they do. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting is shut down. Big letters. You can't miss it. It says right there. They're shut down, everybody, because of the evil Republicans and because of the evil one, Donald Trump, the leader. A stunningly fast end of an era for public media. Where will people get information now? Where will they possibly get news and the like without the Center for Public Broadcasting? I don't know. But they voted to dissolve itself. Maybe because, I don't know, the bias and the trash that you kept putting out there, and it was taxpayer dollars that were doing. No, it's definitely Trump. Yeah, I would agree. It's definitely Trump. Yeah, is it Trump? Yeah, it's definitely Trump. It's
Number 3.
What decision to end your campaign by yourself, or did you receive pressure from Democratic allies?
This is a decision that I make and make with my family, and certainly I think, as I said, it's the right decision. I'll note, I think it's appropriate we're here today. The war that's being waged against Minnesota, you're seeing it. We have a ridiculous surge of apparently 2,000 people not coordinating with us that are for a show of the cameras. I'm going to note to all of you, today is January 6th. There's no debate what happened. The President of the United States...
I can't do it. Okay. So if you're wondering if Governor Tim Walz, Democrat of Minnesota, during his news conference amid welfare fraud allegations in Minnesota and not running for re-election in 2026, was in any way, shape, or form going to not say something about Donald Trump on January 6th, because that's the day that he made the announcement. Now it's all about Trump and, evil Republicans and blah, blah, blah. And so instead of being introspective, you kidding me? Tim Walz probably can't even spell introspective. I'm just saying.
And I'm a knucklehead at times.
It's his words, not mine. He said it, not me.
Number 2.
It's about oil and dollars. And I'm tired of the President of the United States. He chooses Caracas over rural health hospitals. Right? He chooses Venezuelans over soybean farmers.
So
he chooses everybody else over Americans.
Did you oppose the Biden administration putting a bounty on Maduro's head as well?
No, Maduro's a horrible person. He needs to be shackled.
But what does
So Trump just acted on it.
Exactly. What do you mean that you approve of Biden putting the bounty on his head, but not of Trump actually going out and arresting the guy?
Bakari Sellers is having a very bad day on CNN, Democrat operative, because there he is and trying to insist that, listen, Trump did this. He doesn't care about Venezuelans. He chooses Caracas over rural health hospitals and everything else. And Batya Ungar Sargon was like, hold on a second. There was a bounty on his head, right? Narco-terrorists. Biden put it there. Did you oppose the Biden administration putting the bounty on Maduro's head? No. He should be in shackles. Well, he is. I don't know if you look, but that's what's going on right now. Like, he's a terrible person. Yeah, I know. We got the terrible person. He's in shackles. He acted on it. But I don't understand. Oh, I get it. Because Democrats talk tough. They'll put bounties on people, but they don't really want to bountify. I don't even know if that's a word, but we don't actually want you to go after him. We want you to think that we're tough or tough on crime. It's not working.
Number 1.
They vote on paper ballots. They tried voting by mail, and there was fraud all over the country. We're the only country that votes by mail, essentially. You know that, right? You know, Speaker, that's another thing. We're the only country that's stupid enough to vote by mail. Even Jimmy Carter's commission said don't do it. But just to finish so that you won't say...
Okay, so that was the President of the United States a little earlier today addressing Republicans and explaining we got to win the 26 midterms. And, oh, by the way, is there something you could do about elections and kind of clean it up a little bit? And
Drew's Top 5.
You know, maybe pass the SAVE Act. And when it comes to federal elections, why can't we have voter ID? Can we all get together on this? It'd be really nice, and this isn't tough, and a lot of different things going on, and let's go. Come on. I don't know. Maybe I should ask Florida State Representative Danny Alvarez, joining us right now in Florida's Voice, District 69. He's been hanging out patiently, as he always does. It's crazy.
All right, brother.
Great. It's crazy, right? You know, when you think of identification, voter ID, and you know, the SAVE Act, and you've got the president and others, Mike Lee, and so many other senators that are like, can we get this thing across the finish line? I mean, we've got a slim majority, but it really would be a good idea to do this. Why else would someone not want to have voter identification as part of voting? Like, what are we doing here?
I don't get it either. If you were to dismantle a system and create it from scratch, you would absolutely require in-person voting. It's a civic duty. You would come in to do it. I don't care if you give 2 weeks to do that. It doesn't necessarily have to be one day. Make it a period of time. We do it. You come in, show your ID, prove who you are. Heck, if you really want one of those like little purple thumbs that the rest of the world gets, we'll get you one of those too. But you got to do it in person. Only severe exceptions for military or some sort of handicap that you prove by affidavit, something, but you do it by mail, and we lose what's called chain of custody. We don't allow it in the police world. We don't allow it when we're trying to prove people guilty of a crime, and I know that's a higher standard, but here, when you lose faith in your electoral system, my brother, you lose everything. We become the banana republics we're trying to stop.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm glad you're here because I did want to get your thoughts about what we did in Venezuela and getting Maduro and his wife, and maybe your thoughts on what took place.
Brother, I woke up that morning and I was literally in shock. I couldn't believe that our president had the gall, the gumption, the nuts to go out and do that and project America's power in a way that we haven't seen in a lot of years. And I'm going to tell you, there was lots of messages, but the number one message, at least to the Venezuelans here, was that your days of oppression are numbered, that we will actually back our words with action, and we put away a really bad guy. Drew, we're at a really weird point, right? And, you know, like every time I'm on your show, I get calls from my Democrat friends. They're like, man, you're kind of hard on us. And here's my response to those people. You have left the reality of this world a long time ago. There is a moral abyss that the far left in America is swimming in, and they're asking us to join them. I refuse to jump in that pool, and neither does anyone else. When you are backing the freedom of a dictator that has chopped people up, that has put away more political prisoners, that has sent and coordinated with Iran, China, and Russia actively against our own country, this is the worst of the worst. And you're siding with that guy. There is no more communication that I have to do with you. Now we have to lead. Now we have to take the world by the horns, and we have to make sure that we protect ourselves amongst everything else, but primarily we put America first. I think what we're super tired of, Drew, and I know you are because I see your head shake and I see you smile when you talk about these things, is I am tired of apologizing for American greatness and wanting America to shine and protecting what is ours. So you know when we went down and we killed 35 Cubans because they're the ones that have really been running Venezuela in the background, that sent a message to the people 90 miles away. If we can reach all the way to Caracas, we can reach to you. Stop messing around. America is back, and America is great.
Yeah. And a couple of things with what you said. You know, first of all, the killing of Cubans there in Venezuela who are running the place should send a message to the media and Democrats as well to say, hey, you've been telling us this isn't happening. You've been saying that Cuba, it wasn't there. Hold on a second. Then why were they there? Like, so now they're called out, and now they are embarrassed, and they should be. And then they have to actually say, we have to have an answer to the question, which is, which side are you on? I don't get it, because we've been telling you this has been going on.
And that's exactly right.
And you've covered for this. And why would you cover for this, right? That's the first thing. And then the second thing is something you brought up, because you're talking to your Democrat friends and people who speak to you about when you're on the program. And I brought this up earlier, and I think this is important. It's important to me, at least. You know, there's one thing to be said about the vetting process during a primary. You know, Republicans, you want to know if they're conservative. You want to know who they are. In places where they're nonpartisan races, don't tell me I can't ask you about what you've done in your past with regard to voting and where you stand on issues, because it's a nonpartisan race. I'm not allowed to. No, yes, I am allowed to ask. It's called vetting, and this is what we do.
That's right.
But the other part of it, too, is I really would like in 2026 for people in the state of Florida to go out to Democrats that they're going to meet, whether they're running for governor or whether they're running for a statewide office or even a local office. Find out why they're a Democrat. Like, why are you? What are your Democratic Party, Democrat values? Because I think you're going to discover quickly that they're going to give you the old, all the old answers from like 30 years ago, 40 years ago of a party that doesn't exist. And they're basically going to call themselves out right to your face. Like, that's not what the party is. You should realize this. I would love for people to do that.
And there, it's okay to ask your vetting process. In the vetting process, it's okay to ask, do you believe in American exceptionalism? Do you believe in putting America and Florida first? What is the great part of the country that you live in? And figure out, like, everyone has these talking points. You know, when I run for office, you're a Democrat and you're like, oh, Danny's a Republican. Should I worry about it? Here, you should understand that I love my country. I love your freedom. I want to fight and defend for it. I want all of these things. Where our nuances used to be is where we differed on economic policy, or we maybe differed on some social values and stuff like that. But we all lived in the center of loving our country. I believe that if you are a modern day Democrat right now, you should be doing everything possible to separate yourself from the extreme leftism, communism, socialism that has taken over from your party, and make sure that you stand out. It is okay to not believe everything I believe, but it is not okay to put my enemies above me and put my kids and your kids in harm's way with your actions, words, and deeds. And that is what the far left is doing. They've taken the Democrat Party hostage, and slowly but surely, we're not going to be able to say that anymore, Drew, because there will be the Democrat Party completely if the people on the inside that don't believe that don't stand up.
Yep. All right, Florida State Representative Danny Alvarez, and don't forget, commies ain't cool. Commies
I was
ain't
about
cool.
to say it, brother.
Where
you better
is
say it one more time with me. Commies ain't cool. And
you better
we just
put it up on the screen.
Venezuela style.
D, you better put that up on the screen. There it is. Okay, commies ain't cool. Just want to make sure that's
I love
there
it, brother.
before we
Commies
go.
ain't cool, and Maduro's feeling that right
That's
now.
right. All right, my friend. We'll see you soon. All the best. God bless. All right, there he goes. That is State Representative Danny Alvarez joining us on Florida's Voice. All right, we put a bow on the show next.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, if you're looking to take advantage of today's pro-business environment and strengthen your financial future, certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group have got you covered. They specialize in advanced tax strategies, risk management, and retirement planning, all aimed at helping high net worth investors like you thrive. Now, Alfie wants to share those insights with you with his book, Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway. It's packed with practical tips and forward-thinking strategies to help you make the most out of your hard-earned wealth. Ready to get your free copy? Text BOOK to 239-747-7470. That's 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Learn how to capitalize on that pro-business opportunities that are out there right now and secure the confident retirement you deserve. Once again, text BOOK to 239-747-7470 right now, and let Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group help guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Do you want to explain to me why you were sticking your hand in mailboxes? This is your bike?
Yes.
What's in there?
Bunch of mail.
Bunch of mail from what? The mailboxes that are open?
All over the place.
All over the place.
Oh, boy. That's not good. Orlando police were reporting that a man was arrested for stealing mail. There on South Cimarron. They caught him in the act. That was the officer questioning the 39-year-old who was taking mail out of the apartment mailboxes. And I guess he said he was a mailman. But, I don't know if, maybe a quick lesson. If you're going to fake being a mailman, you're supposed to put the mail in the box. You don't take the mail out of the box. Has there ever been a time when... And
yeah, that plan wouldn't have worked for him.
Yeah, a couple of things come to mind. Number one, the plan wouldn't have worked if he was putting things in. It's a good lesson for the kids that we explained to them. But the second part is he was taking mail out of the mailbox in the apartments. How? Have you ever been to an apartment complex and how you stick the mail in there? The whole idea of how you put mail in the mailboxes in apartment complexes it's impossible. Like, is his hand...
Yeah, the ones that he was grabbing must have been different.
I guess. I was going to say, is his hand flat? How do you do that? But, they got him. And that's it for his mailing career. So let's mail it in. Thanks. Okay. One other thing, D, before we leave... It's the bow on the show time, so let's finish with this. Are you falling out of love with pizza? How's pizza for you? Okay. Are you, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you on the pizza scale?
9.
Ooh, wow. How about people around you? Would you say everybody's still into pizza?
Oh, yeah.
Then why?
It's the go-to when you don't know what to get.
Well, and it's the go-to even... when it's not what you don't know what to get. It's always the go-to. America's falling out of love with pizza. Restaurant chains explore strategy changes as sales slow for food delivery mainstay. This is from the Wall Street Journal. They're saying once the second most common U.S. restaurant type, pizzerias are now outnumbered by coffee shops and Mexican food eateries. According to industry data, sales growth at pizza restaurants have lagged behind the broader fast food market for years. And some dude named Ravi, who's a chief financial officer and North American president at Papa John's, said, pizza's disrupted right now. I guess that's a polite way of saying, we don't know what's going on. But is it a function of there are like 1,000 pizza shops? Like if you throw a stone out there right now, you're going to hit a Starbucks or a pizza shop, right? Like, everybody got
pretty
into
much.
It. Yeah. So
maybe they're just asking the wrong areas.
Yeah, because I could tell you here in Southwest Florida, in the Fort Myers, Naples area, we're fine. We're fine. Now, there are a lot of pizza shops, and that's nice. But I think as far as sales go, we're good. So, yeah, they're saying they're engaged in price wars with one another. And, maybe... the reason why pizza's in a slump, I'm just putting this out there for all you pizza owners out there. Really? $20 for a pie? Really? That's a lot. That's excessive.
Bidenflation.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I guess it's true.
Not a joke.
Yeah, I mean, if Joe says it. But I think that's it. I don't think it's oversaturation as much as it is people loved pizza because you could get a big old pie for $11. And now you can't get one for less than 20. Pretty much. And that's the problem. Maybe it's Bidenflation. Maybe it's, hey, come on with the $20 pies. What are we doing here? But maybe they have to. I don't know. Tomatoes are expensive. Are they? They might be. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
True international effort to pressure.
Didn't need that.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.